Alaji, Shaggy.
How far that?
I do.
I beg that your girlfriend where they sell bread and beef for junction. Come give me a number. I want to go buy food for her.
Oh yeah, now me too go chop. Oh.
You say wait.
Make I check my phone, give you number.
You shall be you to go chop. Now me born you. Oh yeah, jare 080. Wait happen.
Shaggy,
Eh?
they don't run me street oh. I go Ladipo.
You go. Look. Alaji, sit down. Sit down. You go Ladipo. Say out in law. Come. I said them say see they put on your password for phone as they do before.
Everything dead here now.
Everything dey there. Oh yeah, take. Take, make you call your bank, make they block your account immediately. You know say person wey thief your phone, if you get your personal information, and with your personal information, all the remaining money wey dey your account, if you clear am, I pay you. Now why e good to get both phone lock and SIM lock now? Well, another thing where you suppose get na USSD code, wey they call short code. Because with that one, if your phone lost again, na simple thing. You go just collect anybody phone wey dey around you. Your bank go block your account straight. The person no go fit use am. Come, wetin dey press sef? Abeg, before my phone disappear for your hand. Well, Alaji, support the law. Put it low. Now confirm again. Confirm am again.
This message is brought to you by the Bankers Committee, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in partnership with the Committee of Chief Information Security Officers of Nigerian Financial Institutions.
Hi everyone. How are you guys doing? If you're here with us, can you please drop a message in the message box? Let's see if you're here with us, please. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it is you are listening to this webinar. I am your host, Alex Oluwatobi. And I don't know, did you guys watch that video? I am sure a lot of us must have been in that situation. I remember one time in Ojota, and it was crazy. They picked my pocket, and it was I lost a whole lot of money. Yeah, I can see everyone joining. Fumilayo Tumule, thank you for joining. Hi, I can see you joined from LinkedIn. I can see Mr. ND, you're welcome. I can see Ebube, you're welcome, Ebube. How you doing? How's it going? Thank God it's Friday. Grace Atiluke, I see you. Thank you so much. I can see you joined from YouTube. Happiness, welcome. Today is going to be an amazing session. I promise you, you're going to have fun, you're going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to learn a lot as well. So please get a pen and a paper, because we've been talking about cybersecurity. Everywhere you turn to online, you see cybersecurity. What do you even understand about cybersecurity? Like, what is your own simple definition of cybersecurity? Can you please drop that definition in the chat box? Maybe it's just one word or two words. Just drop it. What is your definition of cybersecurity? What do you understand by cybersecurity? Oh, okay. I'm waiting. I have my own definition. My definition before I started understanding the concept of cybersecurity. My definition was a very, I don't want to call it ridiculous definition. Oh, I'm already seeing some definition. Mr. Mustafa Bolaji said data protection, amazing. Mary Jane Okonkwo, securing your data online, nice. Oluwatobiloba Maya Dino, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Good afternoon to you too. Grace Atinuke says cybersecurity is safety on the online space. I'm seeing a whole lot of definition. Keep it coming. And to give us a better understanding, and in layman terms, a better understanding of cybersecurity, I have two speakers, both from Stanbic IBTC. They are geniuses. They are amazing guys. They've been doing wonders in the whole cybersecurity space. I have Mr. Bayomi Oluwole, who happens to be the head information technology security Stanbic IBTC pension managers. Mr. Abayomi, are you here with us, please? Mr. Abayomi. How are you doing today, sir? You look amazing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex, for that warm welcome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. And good afternoon to our distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the webinar. This is another Blue Talk webinar brought to you by Stampik IBTSA. And today, like Alex has said, we'll be discussing next generation intelligence. This is one area I am passionate about, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Abayomi. I'm still going to. I can see a lot of people are still defining cybersecurity, and you are still going to give us your definition. But allow me to read out some definition. Okay. Sophia Chiamaka Basil defines cybersecurity as protecting your computer system, network, and data. Joshua Benga of Bunkola said cybersecurity is encryption and description of data. Mohammed Yao said secured data. Before we come to all this definition, let me also introduce the second speaker, Sandra Eze, who happens to be the information security analyst for Stanbic IBTC. Sandra Eze, how are you doing today, Miss?
Hi, Alex. Good afternoon, and thank you for introducing me. So, good afternoon once again, everyone. My name is Sandra Izzy, the information security analyst at Stanbic IBTC. And today we'll be discussing leveraging threat intelligence, to predict threats. So, we're hoping that after that, you will be able to pack from knowledge to each and every one of you that's on this call. Thank you.
Okay, Sandra. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Abayomi and Sandra, a lot of people have been defining cybersecurity. So before we come to your own definition, the theme for today's webinar is the next gen threat intelligence. I'll be discussing how to leverage data to prevent attacks. How to leverage data to prevent attacks online. So, Mr. Abayomi, back to the definition of cybersecurity. In layman terms, can you please give us a very concise definition of cybersecurity in layman terms?
Thank you, Alex, for that. And I saw a couple of answers in the comment section. Securing data online, data protection, cloud being secured. I mean, very correct answers. But let me just break it down. So cybersecurity sounds like a hot buzzword these days. So what is it? The term cybersecurity first emerged in the 90s. It's still a pretty much new idea. We don't even know how to spell it yet. So is it one word, cybersecurity? Do we say, does it have an iPhone security? Is it two words, cybersecurity? But the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the United States defined cybersecurity as the ability to protect and defend the use of cyberspace from cyber attacks. And you will agree with me that with the advent of internet, there came a need to interconnect certain aspects of information technology. And in today's world, I mean, internet is arguably not one of the best inventions ever. I've grown so accustomed to it that when I run out of data, I just feel like I'm out of this world. So for the purpose of this conversation, I'll simply say that cybersecurity is the action we take to reduce the risk of being connected to the internet to acceptable levels. That's simply put, that's cybersecurity. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you so much for that. So, Sandra, I'm throwing the same question to you. I'm sure you must have maybe some addition to the definition by Abayomi, or you have some subtraction. So, Sandra, over to you. Oh, okay. While we're trying to wait for Sandra to be part of the, okay, I think she's here. Oh, amazing. Sandra, did you get my question?
No, I didn't get your question. Sorry. What was your question?
Okay. So my question is, in layman terms, A lot of people have been dropping definition of cybersecurity on the chat box section. And also, so I want you to just give us a concise definition of cybersecurity so that people can really have a deep understanding of what the term cybersecurity means.
Okay, so thank you, Alex, for that. So I say, for me, I would define cybersecurity as that process in which everyone is trying to keep themselves safe online. So basically, most of the things we do these days are all digital. We are in a digital world now, and we utilize a lot of digital solutions. Our phones are digital, our laptops. So we need to, while we are on these platforms, or while we are online, we need to be safe. It's the same way that while you're walking on the road, you're looking left, right, and center to make sure that there are no, I wouldn't call them bad guys. That just to make sure that you're walking safe, your leg is not hitting a stone or something. That's the same way I would define cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is that process where you are able to keep yourself safe while you're on the digital space. Exactly.
I love that, keeping yourself safe while on the digital space. I think I need to write that somewhere. Okay, so let's move away from that. Let's move to why we are here. We are here to discuss how we can leverage data to prevent attacks. And when we are talking about how to leverage data to prevent attacks, we understand that attacks are threats. So the next gen threat intelligence, I'm sure a lot of people I'm sure a lot of people must have heard about threat intelligence. And for those that have not heard about threat intelligence, they're going to learn about threat intelligence today. So, Sandra, I'm going to throw this question to you because I'm going to throw. I'll be throwing a lot of questions to you because this is International Women's Day month. So you're going to champion this webinar, and I hope you are ready, Sandra.
Well,
Oh, okay. While you are trying to like get yourself, so let me get to Abayomi. Abayomi, can you please just tell me what is that difference between next gen threat intelligence and the tribal and pardon me and the traditional cybersecurity approaches? Like what's the difference between this next gen threat intelligence, cybersecurity, traditional cybersecurity approaches, like the way they do things in the past and the way we are doing things now?
Um, Nice question, Alex. I would say that how do I start? Okay, so what is even intelligence before we go to whether it's next gen or traditional intelligence? You know, Intelligence simply means that using cognitive abilities and skills that you have, to learn, adapt, and solve problems. So we hear things like emotional intelligence and what have you. So as human beings, generally, you and I demonstrate signs of intelligence. We kind of acquire knowledge based on what we see, signals around us. We have our sensory organs, our ears, our eyes. We can touch, and based on that, we then tend to make rational decisions, even in complex situations. So this is commonly known as traditional intelligence. So next gen intelligence, on the other hand, is an intelligence demonstrated by machines. Today we can teach machines to behave like us. Which is to learn from data, make decisions from data, and act from data. So bringing it home to cybersecurity, Alex, the traditional approaches that security professionals applied earlier to protect data are now very much under stress. We are barely catching up, to the ever evolving demands.
Mm.
So next gen threat intelligence has come to take some burden away of us as security professionals in protecting our critical assets. I'll stop here. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, yeah. You know, I would really like you to delve more into the terminology threat intelligence. Why is it so important to for regular people and also for business owners. You know, people. I'm sure a lot of people that are professionals, they know about threat intelligence. But for layman, for regular folks, what is that understanding? What is that definition of threat intelligence?
All right. So threat intelligence basically is now then how we identify patterns, you know, to identify anomalies, to look at what is not normal, you know. So organizations now need to leverage this kind of intelligence to promptly detect anomalies, indicators of compromise in real life scenarios. You know, we want to be able to know if something is going on wrong. We want to know when things are right. We want to analyze real time data, and while analyzing this data, we want to use intelligence to support our decisions. You know, so that is why this is critical and very, very important at this time. And yeah, nice conversation. And I'm happy you brought that up.
So I'm going to be asking you another question while we wait for Sandra. And I hope I'm not loading you with too much questions at this point. I'm also learning. I'm also really, really learning, in all honesty. And in as much as I have I delved into the whole world of cybersecurity like a couple of months ago, and it's been hard, in all honesty, because there are a lot of technical terms to understand. But I believe if you can do it, I can also do it. If Sandra can do it, I should be able to do it. And I know a lot of people listening to this, they also this might be a life-changing webinar for some people at the end of the day. You know that, right? So in one of my studies, I was looking at a terminology called predictive analysis. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if you can actually explain the relationship between predictive analysis and cybersecurity awareness. Or let me put it this way: can you share like a real world examples where predictive analysis has successfully prevented a security breach?
Thank you, Alex. Yes, you can do it first. For starters, you can do it, and I'll be very happy to, support you in that journey. To if you
You have no choice.
beyond,
You have no choice because I will be disturbing you. You have
yeah,
no choice.
I'll be very excited to support you in that journey.
Thank you so
And
much. I'm
thank
sure
you
a
very,
lot of
very
people are
much.
here. People are listening to Abayomi now, oh, so that Abayomi don't come tomorrow and say he did not make this promise. Oh. So no problem. Over to you, sir.
Yes. So thank you. And before I go into details, let me explain some background concepts. You know, the foundation of cybersecurity is centered around three things: confidentiality, that is, information is only accessible to those who are authorized to see it; you know, integrity, that the information remains adequate and unaltered; and the last is availability, which means that the information is only accessible to those who need to see them. You get. So everything we do in cybersecurity is centered around these three things. We're either trying to achieve one of them, two of those goals, or three of those objectives, you know. But then how do we achieve this? It is about how we prevent, detect, and respond to cyber incidents. So let us look at it this way, in a real life scenario, you know, and say, Alex, you are a trained security professional, you get, and you
Okay.
have to review logs, files of an application from, let's say last week, you know. First thing you do is to look for unusual patterns. And how will you do that? First, you first need to understand what normal looks like. Then you now go through the logs carefully, you know, trying to catch something different from normal. Um, Now, if this same task were to be assigned to AI powered next gen threat intelligence with predictive analysis, the first thing to do is also to teach it like human beings. What does normal looks like? But because it's a machine, it doesn't sleep. It can process things faster. So before you look at 1 million lines of maybe logs or codes, you know,
Sorry,
the
Abayomi. I'm sorry for. I'm getting confused. Can you hear me?
I mean, I lost you a bit along the line,
Oh,
but
okay,
maybe you
okay,
can just
okay.
recap.
So basically, what I was trying to say is, what are logs? Like, I was getting confused. Okay, but you mentioned prevent, detect, and respond. But I want to know what does it mean? Like, you mentioned something that has to be logs, like looking into logs. Can you please explain deeply? Like, can you I don't I actually don't understand. I actually don't understand. So if you can explain, maybe go all over again. Let me try and understand you better. I'm sorry.
All right, thank you, Alex, for that. Yeah. So logs, what are logs? Logs are simply put, they are applications data. You know, there
Okay,
are things that
okay.
you can view, data that you can view from applications, basically. So that is
So let me
their
cut
log.
it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's say
Okay.
I log into my Stanbic IBTC app, put in my information, my name, my BVN, um, my address, and all those. Are those logs?
Yes, so the data, that's login activity, it generates a data on the
Okay,
application.
okay,
Alex
okay,
logged
okay.
in. That is a log. So I can now review Alex logged in at 11:25, to try to understand patterns and behaviors you get. Uh, so, like I was saying,
If the camera turn
next gen AI,
from the
uh,
middle.
artificial intelligence, and next gen threat intelligence now allows us to review this data. So I won't use log this time around. Allows us to review this data in real time. You get. We can now, find out anomalies, find out behaviors that are, unusual from normal. So typically, a real life example will say companies like Google, Microsoft, they use this predictive analytics to enhance their cybersecurity. For instance, the scans thousands of emails, you get thousands of emails. Some will go to spam, some will go to, junk, you know. Is this predictive data that has been done in the past that now gives the systems that intelligence to know that based on behavior, emails from Alex is a junk. you know Emails from Abayomi should go to my inbox. So those are some real life examples where we've seen the use of real life predictive analytics to help cybersecurity incidents. Financial institutions also kind of use this for things like fraud detections, looking at unusual patterns you get. So I could go on and on and on. So thank you, Alex. I
All
would
right.
also, my colleague, Sandra, had a chip in a few.
Okay.
I'm here.
Sandra, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Okay. So did you hear the question, or do you
What,
want me to rephrase?
what was the question? Sorry.
Okay, so my question to Abayomi has to do with I asked him to share a real world examples where predictive analysis has successfully prevented a security breach. So do you also have an example that you can share with the audience?
Okay, personally, I've had this such encounter. So, predictive analysis is basically getting information based on predictions. And when I say predictions, what do I mean? It's like weather forecast. You can watch the TV and watch the weatherman, and he would say that it's going to rain today. Or from what they've been able to see on their end, there may be rain, there may be sunshine. And with that information, you are able to prepare yourself. Maybe at the end of the day, it may rain, it may not rain. The sun may shine, it may not shine. So that is being predicted. Now, my personal example would be a time where I wouldn't want to name names, but we had a form of incident in the sense that there was we had already seen there were already some activities we had noticed in an environment. When I mean activities, I mean we were getting some emails that they were coming, there was a pattern to a lot of the emails we were getting concerning a particular kind of fraud. So with that pattern, we were able to determine that there may be something going on, and in as much as it hadn't happened in our own environment, but there was definitely something going on. So we were able to use the patterns we were able to get from those emails to implement some security controls on our end. And I think a few weeks after that, we heard that something had actually happened. So these bad guys in quote or threat actors, they were just throwing things around, looking for, who it would hit. But based on the fact that we had seen some of these things, in as much as it hadn't come to us, but we were able to predict that there was something going on. So we need to harden our defenses. And when finally we heard that something had gone on, we were already prepared for this. So that was an instance where using prediction in quotes helped us. So it's not as if when this was happening, it didn't happen to us, but we had an inkling that there was something happening based on patterns, and we were able to harden defenses that we had. So yes, this is such a time that prediction in quotes helped us.
I must confess that predictive analysis is very, very key when it comes to threat intelligence and when it comes to cyber security. But I also have a question for. Okay, so I have a question for Sandra, and the question has to do with Sandra. How can business integrate threat intelligence platforms into their existing cybersecurity framework?
Thanks, Alex, for the question. So there are different kind of businesses, and depending on the scale of the business would have to determine what exactly they are looking for in a threat intelligence platform. So what do I mean by this? As a business, you would have had to access yourself to know what your business needs are. And by that self-assessment, you can be able to determine. And when you're determining what are the things to look out for, one, you have to set clear goals. What exactly do you want this threat intelligence to achieve? What do you want? What do you want to see? What kind of information do you want to get from this threat intelligence? Are you trying to stop maybe phishing emails in your organization, or what exactly do you want the threat intelligence to do for you? So you have to set those clear goals. And then the second one would be that you have to choose the right tools. There are a lot of when I say tools, I mean the right solution or the right software. There are a lot of solutions out there that they cater to all different kinds of businesses. So depending on the form of business, you could go for solutions that suits your business needs. And how would you even know if it suits your business needs? It's just doing a bit of research, even reaching out to these companies to tell them what your business wants, and they in turn will tell you what they have to offer. And after you've done all this, you need to connect, and you've been able to determine that this is the platform you want to utilize, and you want to onboard those platforms. And I mean, you've decided that I'm going with this platform, I'm going to use this platform, and there's a point of purchase. You're going to have to ensure that you connect that platform to your existing infrastructure. What do I mean by this? When you onboard the platform, when you bring it into the organization, your organization already has like a form of structure that it's running on. So you need to ensure that whatever platform you're going to onboard in your environment can be able to, speak to what is already inside the environment. So if in your business you're using computers, maybe you're using maybe antivirus, you need to ensure that that threat intelligence platform that you're bringing into your organization are able to integrate all these other solutions that are already onboarded in your environment. And then you have to train your team. So these platforms we're talking about, they're all machines, they're all computers, but they will be manned by people. So you would also need to ensure that your business or the people working for you, they are able to understand this platform, they're able to use this platform to the best of their ability. And even if they're not able to, they will need to go for training. So, and after you've been able to do all this, the next one would be that you have to regularly monitor and update this threat intelligence platforms, because why are you monitoring these cyber threats? As we know, they all evolve, so we have to constantly keep the platform updated. And how do we keep it updated? We have to review its performance, and we also need to ensure that the platform is meeting some of its goals. So this is a simple way that an organization or a business can integrate a threat intelligence platform into what they are currently doing.
All right, thank you so much, Sandra. And as for the audience, if you have any question you want to ask Mr. Abayomi or Sandra, please put the question in the comment box, please. Don't ask me any question. I am not a cybersecurity expert. So just put the questions in the chat box. Let's direct the questions to Mr. Abayomi and Sandra. There's no foolish question, trust me. Any of your concerns at all with regards to cybersecurity will be addressed by these two professionals. Trust me, they are brilliant, they are good, and I'm sure everyone is learning one or two things. So while the audience is trying to like drop their question, I have a question for Mr. Abayomi, because I know we are in this AI era, and I would like to know what are the emerging cyber threats that organizations should be more concerned about in 2025 and beyond?
Nice question, Alex. You are all hard for me today. you know, so I am not a prophet. I don't see visions, but I'll attempt to respond. You get, and these are my views. So I'll take a look at previous predictions in the past. I think around in the 90s, that time I was about 75 years old, around 1995, thereabouts. That was when the World Wide Web really started. There were predictions that by 2020, humans will have chip in their hands. And when we want to go to the bank, we have to have this chip to transact and all those things. But today, this is 2025. I don't think I have any chip in my body to transact, you get. But there are things like facial recognition, there are things like fingerprints, and all. And I also look at it in retrospect. So let's look at 2024 in insight. And, most of the things that happened in 2024, I still will continue to evolve in 2025. In 2024, we saw an incident, very unique incident. There was a scenario where a chief financial officer of an organization was impersonated by a fake video call. So I'm talking to you like this, and you thought you were talking to someone, the CFO, but this is a deep fake video. It wasn't the CFO. It was a mimic of the CFO, you get. And that led to exposures of about $25 million whooped out from the organization. So the advancement in technology would actually bring up new risk, you get. Another thing to mention is ransomware. And you ask me again, what is ransomware? So I'll explain to you like a baby.
I was going to ask you.
I'll explain to you again like a baby. So ransomware is what we call, just think of it like kidnapping, is digital kidnapping. Somebody kidnaps your data and asks for money to get that data back. So all the things that happen in the real world are also happening in the digital world. You understand? So the concerns are the same. So ransomware would remain one of the most prevalent cyber threats in 2025. And because of its huge tendency for financial gains, you get. I also expect to see things around more sophisticated phishing attacks. And let me explain phishing again. So phishing is like a fisherman putting out a line. I'll explain everything to you, Alex, today. So please start taking notes. Fishing is like a fisherman putting out a line in the water or in the sea, hoping that a fish will bite a bait. So you get this email from somebody just sent to several people and open that. Some person will just click on the link and fall for the bait. That is what we call phishing in cybersecurity. And a report has found it that spear phishing, I will explain that again to you, Alex. Spear phishing means targeting you alone. I'm not sending it to everybody. So I'm targeting Alex, so they target executives, target Abayomi based on the information they have about you online. So a report found that spear phishing emails make up of less than 1% of email-based attacks. But it causes about 66% of all breaches. So we need to then manage the information we put online, and that has to be priority for organizations in 2025. Another area that comes to mind for me is third-party risk. Third-party risk will continue to rise. We have seen different vulnerabilities around third parties. There was an incident that happened sometimes around July last year that grounded almost all the airlines globally from a third party. So we should look at that area keenly into 2025. And I think lastly, I'll say AI, the all-powerful AI. AI-powered attacks will continue to evolve. We've seen that generative AI has been used to develop zero-day exploits. With up to 87% accuracy. Today, you don't even need to really know much. You could just interact with AI. It will develop a phishing email for you. It will develop a malicious code for you. So those are things that we should look out for in 2025. But the good news is that cybersecurity will also leverage AI and will continue to use it to improve our defenses. Thank you.
That's a lot, and a lot of people from the audience have questions for you. So we better get ready. But I don't know if Sandra has one or two things to say with regards to that, or should we just move to some of the questions from the audience?
Maybe we can move to the question from the audience.
Okay. So there's a question from Miss, I don't know if I should call her Miss or Mrs. Miss Grace Atinuke. She said, "What are the current challenges of NGI?" I don't know. Maybe she's a cybersecurity expert. So this is the first time I'll be seeing NGI. What does that mean? So probably you guys will be able to explain.
I don't know. Can she tell us the full meaning of NGI?
Okay, Miss Grace Atinuke, please tell us the full meaning of NGI. We don't understand NGI. So I think the second question is from Adedamola Jones, and the question is: how does cyber hack come into play in predictive analytics? Cyber hack, spelled as Charlie Yankee Bravo Echo Romeo Alpha Romeo Kilo.
He asked, how does cyber hack come into?
Yeah, how does cyber hack come into play in predictive analytics? From Adedamola Jones.
Okay, so I don't know if that context is right, but I think I can just lay a bit of credence to it. So cyber hack is simply, I would say, what is cyber hack basically? Cyber hack is a solution deployed, or I would call it a software that organizations use to protect their I wouldn't say their accounts in this code, but in organizations we have different softwares or different things we use. Like, let's say we have emails we log into, we have other tools from this security perspective that we log into. Now, cyber hack is used to manage how we log into this solution. So I don't know how that plays into predictive threat analysis, but CyberArk is a tool that manages how we log into some of the security solutions, or some, I wouldn't say security solutions now, some of the infrastructure that we have deployed. So it may not necessarily. I wish I could get the context that he means. He can drop a bit more context to this question.
Oh, okay.
But this is just what. Yes, can he give us more context as what he wants, the
Oh,
kind of response he wants. Yes.
all right, Mr. Adidamola Jones, can you please just give us more context to that question? We're still going to come back to that. And someone has already explained the meaning of NGI, which is next generation internet, but we'll still come back to that. Let's take this question from Dr. Solomon Ihidero. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, sir. He said this question is for Abayomi. He said, how can organizations effectively balance real-time monitoring with privacy concerns, especially in highly regulated industries? Should I take that again, sir?
Mm.
Yes, I think I got that question correctly. You know, yeah, you've put me on the spot again, Alex. You told them to have
Listen,
difficult
because
questions,
Dr. Solomon directed the question
but
to you.
that's good and a very very interesting question at that as well. So real-time monitoring basically is very, very important. You want to be able to identify patterns. I mean, in real time. You don't want it to be kind of reactive. You get. And I think that where the privacy concern comes in is that because of the data that you are, I mean, exposing to this whatever AI models that is doing this real-time monitoring, then privacy concerns then come into place. That how do you protect people's personal identifiable information. So I think for organizations, basically, you have to understand the kind of data you collect for starters. I mean, data minimization. You do not collect what you do not need in the first place. There are also ways that you have to do things like data anonymization or tokenization. And what does that mean again? It just means like, I mean, scrambling the data so that the real information is not there. But then you can still get meaningful insight from those data. Those are some basic ways that I mean organization can look at that. I mean, in terms of the privacy concerns, and privacy is, I mean, it's a real concern lately because we have laws like the Nigerian Data Protection Act that is actively looking into this right now, and yeah. So for us as an organization, we take this privacy method very seriously, and we ensure that we protect our customer information. Thank you.
Okay, should I be nice? Let me be nice.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me be nice. So, back to you, Dr. Solomon. I'm sure you must have listened to Abayomi's response to your question, and let me know if you are satisfied. If you are satisfied with his response, let me know. If you're not satisfied, you will ask him another question. but right now, I want to be nice because we are celebrating because this month is International Women's Day month. So let me through one of the questions I have written out to Sandra. Sandra, this is not a question from the audience. This is my question to you. So, if a
Okay.
business is starting to improve its security, what's one easy step they can take with threat intelligence?
Okay. Oh, thank you, Alex, for that question. I don't know. I didn't get the opportunity to define what threat intelligence is earlier. I don't know if somebody had done that, but threat intelligence is basically processing, analyzing information of what's happening in the industry or all over, just to ensure that you are protecting yourself the best way you can. So, for a business that wants to enhance their security using threat intelligence, I think that the first thing they would consider is to, first off, how large is the business? Is this a big business, or is this an enterprise, or is this a startup? Either ways, they would have to consider the kind of threat intelligence that they want to ingest. And what do I mean by that? What kind of information do they want to be getting? So for them to do this, where would they even get the information in the first place? So these solutions, these threat intelligence platforms or solutions as we speak, they are not cheap, to be very honest. So I think the first thing a business would do would be to start off slow. And when I mean start off slow, there are threat intelligence blogs on social media platforms that they can subscribe to, just to be getting information from those blogs that are relevant to what they are doing. Now, as at the time that they are getting this information and they are able to utilize it in the environment, they get to a certain, the business starts maturing in that regard, in the sense that the more you ingest information and you're using that information, the more you know what is relevant to you. So by getting those kind of information that is relevant, you get a baseline of maturity, in the sense that you start understanding these are the threats in my business. You start small, because if you start getting a lot of information, they may seem very irrelevant and you may not be able to pinpoint to what is actually relevant to what you need. So, but if you're able to start small, ingest information as they come, sift out what is relevant to the business you do. At that point, you start maturing and you start getting the kind of information that you need. And then from getting this information, you start that you've gotten from this information into your business, because this information, threat intelligence, is meant to help your business. It's meant to give you a proactive approach to responding to cyber threats, and not you being reactive, so that it's not when something happens to you then you start responding. So by the time you're getting this proactive information and you start integrating it into what you do, I think that's the first start for your business. Mhm. That's how they start. They start ingesting information from regular blogs that speak about cybersecurity, the attacks that have happened, or just to give inclination as to what they think would happen. So just start ingesting slowly, and then your business gets to a maturity level that you now are able to pinpoint the kind of intelligence that is relevant to what you're doing. I think that would be a first start for me if I was a business that was trying to enhance my security using threat intelligence.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. Now I have two feedback from the audience. One is to Abayomi and one is to Sandra. For women's first, I'll start with Sandra. So Sandra Damola Jones was the one that asked the question that has to do with cyber hack. And now he said,
Okay.
I have found what I was looking for, Sandra. Thank you. CyberHack offers various features and solutions that enhance predictive analysis, particularly in the realms of security and user behavior monitoring. I have reviewed these features and understood how they operate. Thank you. So that is the feedback from Adedemola Jones to you, Sandra. And as to Abayomi, Dr. Solomon said, quite insightful. I am satisfied. So that is the feedback for you. But there's another question from Mr. Oladeji Oluwasegun Sowale. He's asking if there is a way to identify. Let me put it the way he actually wrote it in the chat box. He said, please, is there a way to identify the phishing source, and how can it be stopped when seen frequently? Is there a way to identify the phishing source, and how can it be stopped when seen frequently? So please, I'll trade the questions to the two of you. I want Sandra to go first. Women's first.
Okay, no problem. So, how can you identify the phishing source? When we say phishing, how did the phishing attack come in? How it came in is obviously the source. If it came in via email, that's like the point of entry. That's basically the source. So let me use email as an example. If you get a phishing email and you want to identify the source, that may take a bit of a high level email analysis for you to get. And when I say email analysis, you need to analyze the email and be able to get the header. That's in an email. If you want to break an email down, there's an email header, but you have to know how to analyze these things. So that is the only way you can know the source. But the point of entry, as I said, I just use an email, phishing, whatever. Now, when it comes in, yeah, it's an email. But for you to get to the source, you have to analyze. So, do you know how to analyze? I wouldn't know. So when you analyze, you can be able to get the source, and that is how you can get where that email came from.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandra, for that. And let me lend a few notes to that as well. And so Sandra was very, very spot on. And I explained phishing to Alex. Do you know what phishing is now,
Yes, now
Alex?
I know what phishing is now. I know now.
Or I'll explain again. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack often used to steal, data, including things like login credentials, credit card numbers. The idea is to trick the recipient into clicking a malicious link, which can then lead to, installing malwares on your system, getting sensitive information from you. And here are the red flags. The red flags: impersonal greeting. You get so someone just say hello, this is your account balance. There should be something that will say, dear Alex. There should be personalized greetings for you to say, dear Alex. So if you just get an email, hi Alex, you just won the jackpot. Or hi, you just won iPhone 16. That is almost click on this link. You also look at things like bad spelling and grammar. There are often grammatical errors you get in phishing emails. It will also have a link embedded anyway. And first is they would appeal to your emotion. It's either from a place of greed to say you just want iPhone 16 without doing anything, or from a place of fear that somebody just tried to log into your account. Click on this link to stop that login process. So first is we have to evaluate all these things to protect ourselves from phishing attacks. So I just thought to add that to the context Sandra provided earlier.
Okay. There's one more question. That's the last question we're going to take from the audience before I ask my own personal question. But let's see. Let's ask this last question. It's from Chinaza Nwachuku from LinkedIn. The person is asking, how can we identify that a particular information we get from blogs or social media about cybersecurity is misleading? Okay. How can we identify that particular information we get from blogs or social media about cybersecurity is misleading? I actually don't know the direction of this question, but let me throw it to Sandra. So, Sandra.
Okay. Yeah, I also wish I had more context, but just like all the information we get online, you always verify information. Verification is key. Like if something happens, if you get an information now, that information should at least have more or less say a source. Let's say you hear that something happened to a particular company. The first point should be to even visit that company's website or whatever means they use to churn out information to verify that, okay, did this happen? Because there are a lot of information you get on just one particular subject matter if you go online to check for information. Just one search will give you 10 information. But you, as the person that needs this information, you need to understand what you are looking for. So if you're trying to get information that you saw about cybersecurity, what part of the cybersecurity are you trying? Are you trying to get information about the company, or are you trying to get it? So always verify, and for you to verify, you need to always refer to the source. Even if other blogs or other avenues are writing something, they always quote a source. There's always a source where an information comes from. So being able to verify from that source, it is able to help you to differentiate the information, to be sure basically that the information you get is correct. So I would tell her that she should be particular about the source of the information. Where is it coming from? Or where did this happen? What happened, and to who did it happen? So going straight to who it happened to, it helps you to know, okay, this information I'm getting is correct. Or in layman's term, it's straight from the horse's mouth.
All right, thank you so much. So I have only one question, and Abayomi, you just answered this question in 1 minute because of our time. And this question is from Ezra Solomon Monday, if I'm correct. Monday, okay. He said, "Thank you, Abayomi. But AI generates," I think he's talking about the phishing explanation you did earlier. He said, "But AI generated phishing emails, are we expected to are we expecting the red flags of grammatical errors?" Okay, well, I think what he's trying to say is in AI generated phishing emails, are we expecting to see grammatical errors, like the red flag of grammatical errors? You know,
Thank you for that question. So that is spot on. For AI generated phishing emails, of course, you would not expect to see patterns like those grammatical errors, because it would even make a very convincing email, to that. So those are some of the developments that we've seen, and that's why I earlier mentioned that part of the emerging threats looking into 2025 is the sophistication in this use of AI. While the good guys are using it, the bad guys are also using it. So it makes it a paradox. It's a double-edged sword that can be used for both sides. So to simply put, for AI-generated phishing emails, it looks very convincing.
okay, so this is my own personal question, and I just want yes or no, and I don't want explanation. Sandra, do you think AI will take human jobs in the next 10 years? Yes or no?
No.
No. Abayomi,
Yes.
do you
No.
think AI or the next generation intelligence or artificial intelligence will take human jobs in the next 10 years?
The answer is no.
Okay.
Let me
No,
explain.
no, let's
I
let's
would
let's keep
explain
it
this
that.
time. I will
No,
explain this
no.
time, but just next.
Okay, 30
All
seconds
right.
explanation, 30 second explanation.
Okay. So it's natural to build an impression that AI is the solution for every problem. But the truth is that AI is not the solution to all our security problem. And like I said, it could be a double-edged sword, and it could even lead to poor judgment. So human expertise will remain very crucial in interpreting complex threats, validating AI findings. Human needs to make strategic decisions. Human needs to continue to teach the AI models to improve on them. So they cannot replace human, entirely, but it will complement the human expertise. I'll stop
Hmm.
there. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much, guys. I don't want us to go beyond the 1 hour. So any final parting words from Sandra and Abayomi? Let me start with Sandra.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for joining. I think my parting words would be that we should continue to, leverage on what we have. So, leveraging data that we already set into our organizations, it would help us to, proactively build our defenses. So it's not always us looking outside for what is happening outside. Even internally, inside, there are always things happening, but we may just not be paying attention to that. So I think I would say that we should learn first and foremost to leverage what we have inside, before looking out there. Yeah.
Okay, Abayomi, your parting words, please.
All right. Parting words to wrap it up. I'll say that in our quest for this online safety, which is the goal, I mean, knowledge is our greatest armor. And it's not just a personal responsibility, it is a collective commitment to preserve the security and well-being of our loved ones and the digital community. So I want to say thank you very much for joining the session, and I hope you learned a few things.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Please try as much as possible to stay safe online. The world is going digital, and I can assure you, if you for everyone that is currently online, that will be online in the future, that has been online over time, you know how vulnerable the online space is. So stay safe. Don't click on links that you cannot verify. Don't give out your personal information. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm sure you guys have learned one or two things. Personally, I've learned a lot of things, at least to an extent. I've learned the meaning of logs. I've learned the meaning of ransomware. I've learned, oh, I know phishing, so that's fine. Anyways, thank you, Grace Atinuke. Thanks for all your contribution. Ola Banjia, your daily, thank you so much. Chibuzo Felix, Kehinde Giwa, Dr. Solomon Idero, Adidayo Jones, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Stanbic IBTC, for organizing this cybersecurity awareness webinar. Until next time, I remain your friend, Alex Oluwatobi. Have a nice Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy yourself.